Hello, it's Ursula James here with a very brief message before this week's episode. If you are interested in learning self-hypnosis, I've got a free audio course on my website. Also, if you'd like to learn more about hypnotherapy and becoming a practitioner, I have a full online training course there too. Go to ursulajames.com, or the information is in the podcast notes. Thank you for listening, and I do hope you enjoy this week's episode. In a few moments in time. In a few moments in time, you can start to focus your attention onto your breathing. As you sit there or lie there with your eyes comfortably closed, you'll become more aware of your inner state. Focusing in on your breathing, you become more aware of unconscious functions, like your chest rising and falling as you breathe. And already you may have noticed that your breathing has become a little deeper. This will continue as you start to relax. In this process, there's no need for you to listen hard to the words that I say, or even to notice the sound of my voice. You may find that your mind drifts onto your thoughts. It doesn't matter whether you listen hard to the words that I say, or the sound of my voice, or your inner thoughts. You will experience this process in whichever way will work best for you. And in a few moments in time. In a few moments in time, you will start to notice that as you become more aware of what's going in within you, you can be aware of any areas of tension in your muscles. And you can focus on them for a moment. Take a deep breath and let that tension go a little. Start to relax. And if you were paying attention to your thoughts, you may find that those thoughts drift and wander. For in these moments, nothing is really important. Nothing is so important that you need to hold it in the forefront of your mind. If there is anything going on in your life right now that you need to deal with, and that thought intrudes, you can take that thought and gently, very gently, float it to the back of your mind, just for now, just for these moments while you're listening to the sound of my voice. And sometimes a curious thing happens, and that is the thought that troubled you is forgotten when you wake. Or you may find that your unconscious mind, your memory, found a solution for you while you were listening to my voice. For there is a part of the mind that is constantly there, paying attention even when you are asleep. sometimes termed the unconscious mind. You could call it your memory, if you will. But it's every thought and feeling, every experience you've had. And all of that makes you unique. The way in which you deal with your problems is unique. We all have different ways, different thoughts, different feelings, different actions, different routes perhaps to solving a problem. So let that thought remain there for now, as you continue to listen to the sound of my voice. Simply the sound of my voice, carrying you ever deeper, ever deeper, ever deeper still, ever deeper, deeper, deeper still. For in a few moments in time, whether you are paying full attention or not, it really doesn't matter. In a few moments in time, you may be aware as I count down from 10 to 1. And with each descending number that I count, each descending number between 10 and 1, so you go deeper and deeper into a state of focus. Not just physical, but mental too. A state of focus in which you can find that you can let go of things to see more clearly. For one of the most important things for you to be aware of is that when we solve problems, or at least when we try, we always choose a route that we have tried before first, and sometimes it doesn't work. So we try it again and again. But the fact is, sometimes we need to take a different route. And in order to do that, the old pathway needs to be cleared from your mind. And you can do this as part of this process. But first, you need to reach a level of concentration, of focus, where you can access everything you need. And that will happen when you hear me count 0. So ready? Let's begin. 10. And you can breathe deeply with or after each number, letting your muscles relax. 9. Going deeper, deeper, deeper still, deeper, deeper, deeper still. 8. 7. 6. And all the while your muscles relaxing as you go deeper and deeper into this state of focus. There may be moments when you feel as if you're drifting or floating, and that will be fine. Just fine. You're only drifting into an ever-deepening state of focus. And when you reach the level that is right for you, you will remain there, safe and comfortable. 5. 4. 3. Deeper, deeper, deeper still, deeper, deeper, deeper still. 2. And 1. And now you can rest for a moment and take 3 deep breaths, as deep as you can, as slow as you can. And 0. And your body can find the right level of relaxation to allow your mind to access the knowledge you need to clear out any of the old pathways, so you can find new ways of doing things, better ways, more effective ways, letting go of some of the old habits that were so deeply entrenched you didn't even know they were habits. And you start to find that you can try different routes, different activities, different objectives even. For as a result of this process at night, when you sleep, when you dream, your mind will look for different and more effective ways of achieving your objectives. In fact, from this point in time, when you wake in the morning, after a good night's sleep, you will find that curiously you seem to have answers to things that before you slept seemed like problems. Your unconscious mind, your memory, accessed all that is you and found a better way, a more effective way. So this is a time to find new ways, better ways, by clearing out old pathways. And you will find that, curiously, life becomes easier, because you're being more yourself, doing things your way, a new way, a better way, and above all, you are in control. And rest for a moment, for in a few moments you will hear me count from 1 to 10, And at the count of 8, your eyes will naturally and easily open. And at the count of 10, you'll be fully wide awake. All normal, positive sensations and responses will be back with you. And that thought you floated to the back of your mind, if indeed you did, can float back with an answer attached to it. And you can know that you can find a different way. So ready? 1, 2, 3, more aware. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, wide open. 9 and 10, fully wide awake.